Hello, it's Jerry Davidian from Refinish Coatings. Today I'm going to be showing you some individual products and their application. So the next one is going to be a molded vinyl component where you have a deeper area, you have a much more rigid surface, and strength is not that big of is not that important where compared to the seating surface, but filling in and then being able to texture this area is going to be the challenge. So what I like to do is, of course, clean and prep. What I like to do on this particular repair is a combination of compounds, and the first one I like to use would be our standard, which is our thinnest viscosity. And I like to use this to help soak compound into this foam and any openings between the foam and the molded vinyl. I'm doing that to help protect the foam from burning. Giving a nice foundation. So, and we're going to also use the heat gun to cure this, because the heat, the ultra torch isn't big enough. Again, I got to watch for uncured compound. I have quite a bit of it right there, so I'm going to need to focus on that spot. Okay, so I got this essentially sealed with vinyl repair compound, and so I don't have to worry about anything going deeper into that crevice. Now is when I like to use the third type of compound. The deep fill compound is slightly thicker than the thick vinyl repair compound, but it has a fiber element in it, which helps bulk it up, and it helps its filling properties. You still have to go in light layers. However, this compound, because of the fiber element in it and some of the thickening agents in it, it's not going to get as clear as our thickened standard. You have to be more careful to make sure that you're curing it. You're not going to have the visualization of the fact that it just being clear is meaning to cure, because it's not going to come out clear anymore.
There's a certain amount of time frame where you use.
In this instance, I'm going to use the grain mat curled to kind of just press down on that compound that I'm trying to cure, and it helped cool it off as well, just like that. And then I'm going to also push it up a little bit because it's starting to sag around this edge, like this, right down here. And this is going to be covered up with some sort of plastic component. If this is the dashboard. This is probably a radio or vent of some sort. So right now it's just a game of patience and patiently filling and shaping this void. And we have to also keep in mind we need to keep it cool, because it's starting to get hot. My chill bar's starting to get hot. Sometimes you need to just give it a break and let it cool off. So again, now right now I have this hole to fill, and I like the deep fill formula. Not only does it's bulky, but it's a little easier to shape. because it's a little drier than the other two compounds because of the fiber element that's in there. And if you notice, I'm going to maintain this area. I'm going to work very hard to not let my compound spread beyond that. It's just more work and more time. This is another good example of that compound there having a hard time curing that because it's in there thick. And this is one of the problems with doing a thicker vinyl repair, is curing it. At this point, my repair is pretty warm. My chill bar is not that effective because I'm working on a round surface, a non-flat surface. I'm using my grain mat, and it doesn't matter which texture pattern. You can even use the back of it if it's clean. I'm using it to shape, and it just helped this repair back in shape. When you're at a point where you're trying to shape and fill this odd space here, the temperature is hurting me right now that it's so hot. Because when my compound goes on there, it just starts to just kind of melt. It's not laying where I want it to. So if I want, I could spray some water on it. Water and vinyl repair compound do not mix. So when I cannot give any moisture present when I put my compound down. Nor would I put water on any uncured compound. It will cause my compound to smoke and steam and bubble, and it won't work.
So it could take a dozen layers just to fill that big
On
hole.
a spot like this, it could, yeah. Trouble is most guys out in the field will never tolerate this kind of time. It's got to be done real fast, and they'll consequently do a sloppy job and you get done. Now, the difference is the BMW store calls because Mike the mechanic just stuck a screw. The work is dried up because they can't get away with doing quick shoddy work on the car lots because the price kept coming down and down because more people have gotten into the business who do shoddy work. The bills, you gotta know how to do both, you know. It's a pretty big, you gotta be able to do that. Otherwise, she's not gonna. So that's the way I look at it. I teach you how to do it both ways, or you figure out how to do it the cheap. I'll show you the hardest way to do it, and you figure out how you can make shortcuts out of it. I don't like teaching shortcuts. People figure that out on their own. It'll be fine. Oh yeah.
The brown, is that just because it was burning?
It's getting hot.
Okay.
It's getting hot, and I'm just starting to burn it. Yeah. Especially in this area here where I can't lay it smoothly on. So doing this about you need to do like an infomercial where you can't spend all the time going over all this finesse stuff. They have to figure that out on their own. You know, you just kind of lead someone. Yeah, and you kind of tell someone, the patience. So you know.
And you're drying each layer before you.
Yeah. I mean, this is.
That's the key. Sure
It is.
Get small layers.
And no one that rarely happens. But you want to fill it, but you got to tell. You have to teach someone so they know when they have to. If this is going to be in someone's living room or someone's car seat that it's 4 years from now has to last, then you got to do it the right way. There's so many ways to cheat and make things quicker. And I fight that all the time with my customers. I mean, they want cheap. They want, I got a problem. this isn't holding up this filler I used. Well, what kind do you have? Yeah, let it dry though. It's got dry, you know. Food has to be cooked, fucking clothes have to be sewn, and the shit has to dry. Keep using the stuff that's, you just keep having a problem, I guess. And the problem is because 20 years ago, guys, 20, even, 20, 30 years ago, this was a very lucrative little niche business. And the supply and demand was, if you knew how to do this, you can have 10 or 15 car dealers. You can make $400, $500, $600, $700 a day doing this with no competition. Now there's competition out there. And so, competition on the used car lots with the guys fighting for $45 a car. Okay. For this particular area, I'm going to use a combination of vinyl repair compound and down here, I'm going to use some of our air dry filler, our deep flex fill air dry filler to help fill in this spot, because once this plastic component is snapped back in, there's going to be an edge here that's going to be really hard for me to shape with the compound. So I'm going to shape it in with the air dry filler. Once this dries, I'll be able to sand and shape the filler that I need. And the key thing is this side area here that's giving me the problems filling in. It's not going to show a texture. I'm not going to have to integrate the texture into the side of this because it's not going to be seen. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to let it kind of roll down like that. And then I'm going to just bring it over the top a little bit. So this is the dashboard that I used the deep fill compound and then the thick compound on top of it. And then I used a little bit of our air dry filler to fill in this divot here that I wasn't able to efficiently or easily fill with the vinyl compound. And I'm going to sand this now. I'm not going to sand the vinyl compound because it doesn't sand, but I'm going to sand a little bit of this filler I put in. So I'm going to use a little bit of 600. I'm going to put a little bit of water on it to help sand that down, kind of like wet sand it. I'll probably end up sanding away almost everything I put down, but that's okay. I just need a little bit to do my filling. Okay, so that's filled and dried. I'm happy with the repair. I'm going to put a little barrier coat on there over my vinyl compound. Once that's dry, I'm ready to put my paint on, my coating on. So this is all finished up. This is ready to go back on the car. Just needs a few hours to cure before the paint fully is cured. We're all set. That one.